Hello, welcome back to GrayBush Knits. My name is Hannah and I am coming to you from northern Arizona where it is currently snowing and I am so happy. This channel is all about my love of knitting and will sometimes include some of my other hobbies like sourdough baking or gardening. If that sounds like something you might be interested in, please stick around. Today's video is all about my current progress on my projects and some of the things that I have coming up. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, please stick around, and I am so excited to have you join our community here on YouTube. Hi there! Real quick, future Hannah coming to you to let you know my allergies are really bad this afternoon. So I'm going to be sipping on some coffee throughout the video and kind of struggling with my voice. So please be patient, but hopefully I'll be back to my normal self on Wednesday at my next video. Hope you enjoy this one. So first of all, I just wanted to share with you what I'm wearing. So this is a Harry Potter sweater that my husband purchased for me a few years ago from Universal Studios, and I'm not sure, at the time there were a lot of other Harry Potter merchandise stores that had sweaters with every initial on them that were available. Since then, I think that they've just dwindled it down to like Harry, Ron, and maybe the twins, I think, are the only ones that you can really find consistently, but I'm lucky enough to have an initial that's shared with one of those, and so this is my Hannah sweater from Mrs. Weasley. But I love this. It is a wool sweater, and sometimes I'll wear it with a tank top underneath. Sometimes I don't even need that. Like right now, I'm perfectly fine with it by itself. So I absolutely love this sweater, but it's not handmade, but that's okay. Then going into my finished objects for the week. So last week when we talked, I had started and finished one of the Woodland Loafers by Claire Slade, and I'm so excited because by the time I finished editing, before my video had even gone up, I had finished the second loafer. So here they are, all complete. I do still need to block these. I have not yet because I've been enjoying wearing them and trying to figure out, my plan is to embroider these. So that's something that I've been kind of trying to decide, is where I would like to add the embroidery and all of that. So you can see how those look. You can block these with a shoe form. Otherwise, she also suggests taking like a Ziploc bag, filling it with paper or tissue paper, something along those lines, so that way you can kind of mold it and shape it, and you can fill these up as you're blocking them. So that's what I'm planning on doing, rather than purchasing a shoe mold for the few times that I'm going to be making these. Also, I'm sure you need them for different sizes, so if I decided to make these for multiple people, I want to make sure that I can block them and shape them for each one individually. Overall, I really love this pattern. So I think Claire Slade did an amazing job. I want to preface all of this by saying that. I've seen a few things on her, I think it was on Ravelry. There were different groups discussing these Woodland Loafers, and you can go on there and ask questions. And I saw that a few people had to frog and restart, and they were having issues. And I don't know if that was because of a pattern issue at the time they were doing this, or maybe they were doing these loafers in a different yarn. I'm not sure. I did use the recommended Malabrigo Chunky, and I didn't have a single problem the whole entire way. Everything was really clear, really well defined. She does mention, before you even start, if you measure your foot and you're between sizes, go down a size. Don't go up a size, or it's going to be way too big on you, especially after blocking. So that's what I did. I went down a size. I did measure my foot because I'm one of those people, and I think most of us are this way, where one type of shoe you're one size, but another shoe you're, you know, 2 sizes larger, and there can be a lot of variation in that. So I measured in centimeters, I believe, and had figured out which size I was. And again, I was between sizes. I was even closer to the larger size, but I said, no, I'm gonna go down. That's what she recommends. That's what I did. And I'm so glad that I did. These fit so comfortably. I can wear them with socks or barefoot. I don't have problems. I am not sure, but I believe that one of these, I put an extra row on the sole. I'd have to sit and count them and compare. I'm not positive. Now that I'm looking at them, they look the same, so who knows? But one of them does feel slightly larger. It could just be that one of my feet is slightly larger, because that's possible too, right? So I don't know. But I've been wearing these like crazy. They are covered in dog hair and cat hair and whatever else has been on the ground, but just trying to show some of the detail. I absolutely love these here that create this amazing, just the top of the sole or the top of the foot, just, it looks so nice, especially when you're wearing it. And then it also creates just this nice little kind of like a tongue of the shoe. Isn't that so adorable? So anyway, I'm really, really happy with this. The pattern did say that you would need 2 skeins of yarn for my size, which I think I ended up knitting what was the equivalent of like a US 8. And I only used 1 skein of yarn. I even had this tiny little thing left. I think it was about like 4 or 6 grams left of yarn. So I still have I still have an entire skein of Malabrigo Chunky left. So I would probably make these again. My mom keeps asking me to make her a pair, but shoot, who knows? Maybe I'll just send her the yarn and say, make them yourself. But they were so much fun. I think they would be great as a gift knit, or you know, something if you just want to knit these up on a weekend and be able to, you know, enjoy the snowy weather while you're wearing these or making these. I think that's amazing. And I really love the idea of embroidering them. Like I said, I want to add flowers and leaves, maybe like ferns, that kind of thing. So I did, rather than including these later, I'll include it now. I did purchase a few embroidery threads from Walmart here in town. I'm not going to be able to get over to a Joann's or any place like that for a while. Oops, there we go. So I purchased these. I've got like a true green, black, cream, and red. And then I've got a lighter kind of, I'm not sure even how you would describe this green, but it is kind of, I don't know, just like a new, I mean, I'm going to say like a new green because like I think of this as like your new plant, like the new shoots that are on there. That's what that reminds me of, kind of ferns, that kind of color. And then I've got 2 others. One is kind of more of a pinkish tone of red, and then a pale orange yellow color. I really like that one. So I'm excited. I have no idea what exactly I'm going to go with, but my husband and I have been watching the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit series lately. So we finished Lord of the Rings and then we watched the first Hobbit. But I'm hoping that Radagast can give me some good ideas as far as how to kind of dress these up. But I'm really excited about those. I did also want to mention really quick before I move on to my current projects. I finished the socks. They were the Sunday socks by Petite Knit. I finished those and had sent them off to my mother-in-law for her birthday. She got them earlier this week, called me right away, and had to tell me that they fit like a glove. So I wanted to share all of that with you. I was really excited about that. I just followed the pattern to the T. I did make notes so that if I end up making these for her again, then I make sure that I just follow that exact size for her. But I was really, really happy with that, especially being that I couldn't have her try them on as I was working on them, and I didn't have any way of knowing for sure if they were going to fit. So I would highly recommend that. I would recommend that pattern, and I did feel like it was really a beginner-friendly design and pattern to be able to use to make a quick pair of socks. So I hope that that might be helpful to someone. Also, she loved the yarn, she loved the color, everything. She was super excited. So that was a perfect birthday gift. And my husband has been off of work because of that weather. And so we've been sitting home and watching a new to us TV show, which is The Walking Dead. We are, I believe, on the 3rd season now. And what that has meant for me and my knitting projects is that I have to have kind of mindless knitting. It's been great for the Lulu Slipover, so that's what we'll talk about first. So last week when we visited, I had finished the back, had started on the front shoulders. You start by working the left shoulder, getting so far, and then you work the right shoulder, and then you'll end up adding a few stitches and connecting. So I hadn't even gotten to that point yet. But after that, I did. So, oh no, I moved my thing. Okay, so I was right about here, and now I've completely finished the front of the slipover. I have also finished the ribbing and the Italian bind off on the front of this slipover. I've also finished the armhole and the Italian bind off on that arm as well as the other. And now I have gotten to the point of starting the buttonhole placard. And this is where I had to stop. Was it last night? I sat down and I was like, okay, I'm gonna knock this out because everything so far has been really well described in the pattern, and I have, I know what I'm doing. So I may have to watch the Italian bind off video, but then once I had that down, I had my note and I was good, for the rest of this, which, by the way, if you need practice on Italian bind off, this is a great project because that's all you do. Oh my goodness. But anyway, I started 3 times on this buttonhole placard on the back, and you do an Italian cast on and you add so many stitches, and for the life of me, I can't wrap my brain around it. So I stopped, I have my stitches, I did my first row of knitting on them, and that's as far as I could get because I just could not make sense of the pattern. I'm probably going to have to watch some videos. I'm probably going to have to shut myself in this room and not watch anything until I figure this part out. But that's where I'm at right now. I know that we still have to work the neck as well. The pattern, I believe that the design has it to be a full turtleneck, which I probably won't do that knowing how I felt about my turtleneck on the sweater number 9 that I just finished. So I'm probably going to be just doing just a short like mock turtleneck or something along those lines. But I also want to just make note of the yarn because I've been really, really happy with how this is knit up. So this is with a Hobby rainbow sock yarn, and it's a wool nylon blend, and it's kind of in a teal green color. It's knit up beautifully. It does have a good amount of, I don't know, it's got a fair amount of scratchiness to it, but it's not horrendous. Obviously, I'm not going to be wearing this by itself because it's just going to have a couple buttons on the side and that's going to be open. So not my vibe to wear by itself. But I think it's just knit up beautifully. Every time I haven't fully blocked this yet, but I have steam blocked it along the way just to kind of help everything loosen up and calm down. And it makes a big difference. So I'm really excited. I just need to finish these darn button placards and then hopefully, because I really wanted to have it done today, but it's not going to happen. So hopefully next week, because I'm so excited to have this done. Because of watching The Walking Dead, I tried multiple times last night actually to pick up my Korshavn cardigan, and that first row I had to keep ripping it back, and I couldn't focus on that because I was so focused on the show. My husband and I are just, we aren't the type that kind of watch TV shows, you know, one episode at a time. We binge watch, and there's, I don't know, something like 11 or 12 seasons. So we're on season 3, I believe. So it's just kind of one of those things where we're just plowing through and I need something fairly mindless. So I had started another shawl, excuse me, one I'm really excited about, and I still want to work on it. However, it is a fingering weight yarn and everything was so teeny tiny. I was just struggling last night, so I just ripped it back and said, not right now, maybe in a little bit, but not right now. So instead, I cast on a different shawl, and that was the Zim Stern shawl, and this is a pattern by Melanie Berg. I'm just going to kind of put up the picture, excuse me, I want to put up the picture of the sample shawl that she had on the website. So this is like the most beautiful shawl that I have seen in a long time, and I love the colors that she chose for it, and that's kind of the color scheme that I have also gone for. So I'll just show you so far. This is, oops, there we go. Let me get this guy out of the way. There we go. So this is where I'm at on my shawl. Trying to hold it in a way that makes sense with how the pattern is designed. So this is the center back, and you've got some increases that create a beautiful design down the center. And then I have pins so that way I can keep myself straight when I'm just kind of not paying attention. And the pins just kind of help me remember which side is the right side and which is the wrong. And then also I have pins so that way I can see how many stitches I've added on. Every 25 I'm putting another pin. So that way, again, because I'm not very good right now about putting tallies on my paper, on my pattern, so this way I can just look quickly and see if I need to add another pin and know when I need to stop and move on to the next section, because I'm doing this until I'm something like 300 stitches or something like that. So let me see here. I'll show you what I've done is I've picked up yarn from Hobby. This is something I purchased a long time ago, and I'll just show you one of the labels here really quick. So this is the Rainbow Bamboo by Hobby, and it is 60% bamboo viscose and 40% cotton. It is incredibly soft and smooth and so nice to work with. I will say that, I mean, it's so nice to work with compared to, I mean, I don't have any problem working with wool, but especially being how much I've been just kind of barreling through that Lulu Slipover, it was like a shock when I switched over to this yarn. So it's really nice to be working with right now. The one problem I will say about these skeins is you can see like they've been spun up and then they put the label on here, and then as soon as you take this label off, they kind of do this. So everything's just kind of a hot mess in here, so bear with me. Let me see. So I can only show you like 2 skeins at a time, but I have these 2, and I'll have the full description or full information down in the description with the colors and the numbers and stuff. And here are the other 2. So obviously this is going to be in place of the terracotta, and I know it's a little bit more on the lighter side, but I really love it, and I wasn't too bothered by the color difference. Obviously also my main color is a little bit lighter. It's more of like a light beige than what she's using, but again, I didn't really care. There was just had to make that choice, and overall I'm really excited. I think this is going to be great to have in the summertime to put on over dresses or just to kind of dress up a summer outfit. Again, that's just where I'm at. You can kind of see the color difference, but yeah, I'm really, really happy with this so far. And right now, I mean, the pattern's a little bit odd for me just because I have not made a shawl that's constructed in the way that this one is. Also, the pattern has like a couple pages where it's like, here's what you're doing for these sections, but then you don't actually start your pattern until like 4 or 5 pages in, and then it says, well, you're gonna do this section that was over here on page 2 until you reach, like I said earlier, something like 300 stitches, and then so you're constantly having to go back and forth, and that part I don't really care for. I'm sure I'll get the hang of it, and I'm sure it won't be a problem, but I'm constantly like going over here and looking at what it says as far as, you know, like I said, go up to 300 stitches or whatever. Then I go back to the other page where it's got just the quick notes, and instead of her just simply having, you know, up to this point in parentheses, she didn't do that, so I'm kind of writing that in and, you know, different things like that. But it's really not too much of a problem. I'll kind of give you my input as I get a little bit further on. I don't want to judge it too quickly like I did with the Lulu Slipover, because that pattern, other than how the placards are described, so far it's been a great pattern. So we'll see. For that I just need to look up some YouTube videos and kind of figure that part out, but I'm sure that she's got it described really well somewhere. I just have to find it. So, but that's where I'm at with that. As far as acquisitions, I've been really, really good this week. I have not purchased anything. Like I mentioned in my last video, I've been holding out for the Long Dog Yarns release that's going to be on Saturday. However, hold on. I'm trying to film this fairly quickly because the weather is changing. I'm losing light. The sun's coming out though, so everything's all screwy. So one of my, well, a designer that I've been following for a long time that I am really excited about a lot of her designs. You may know her here on YouTube as Fiber Tales. Her name is Lærke. She's just released a test call and I was accepted into that group. So I am going to be starting a sweater for her and I'm really excited about it. It does use unspun yarn and held with mohair. So today, well, okay, so I have this unspun yarn. This is Plötulopi in the color Frost Grass, I believe. I absolutely love it. It's a beautiful kind of mossy tone with some brown, some light gray. It's gorgeous. I have 2 plates of this from gosh, what was it? Last year? I did a test knit, oh goodness. It was the Triga mittens. That's what it was. And I'll link those down below. They're a beautiful mitten pattern. I absolutely love them. And yeah, highly recommend that one. Bella did a wonderful, wonderful pattern. She does a lot with unspun yarn, and actually I had just been messaging her because she released a sweater pattern that is with unspun, but it's color work. So you've got multiple colors, which means much thicker material. That's the word I'm looking for. A much thicker material here on the top. So I was asking her, okay, I don't live somewhere that gets super cold. Is that something that is really warm, or is it still pretty breathable? She said that in most, if you have just like a single layer, it's really breathable and comfortable and even a little bit on the light side. But she said with that sweater, because of how you've got 3 layers of the Plötulopi or the unspun, that it is very, very warm. So I opted against doing that pattern. But when this one opened up with Lærke, I thought it would be perfect. So it calls for unspun held with mohair. So I had to order that in today. I have two plates, like I said. So I ordered another one. I may end up having to get a 4th, but I think I'm going to be okay with the 3. And then I ordered in some mohair to kind of go. I'm hoping the color's going to look really great with it. And I'm really excited. I wanted to get those ordered immediately, so hopefully they'll be here pretty soon. The test knit is short, but I think it won't be a problem, being how much time I can generally devote. So I'm sure I'm gonna have to check with her, but if I can, I'll share my progress of that sweater on here with you guys. And I'm so excited about that sweater. I actually, as soon as she started showing it on her videos, I messaged her and said, I'm so in love with this. I would love to be part of your test knit group if you have not already done that. And so as soon as she put the test out this morning, oh my gosh, my voice. I'm sorry, guys. As soon as she put that test call out this morning, it was like 30 minutes before I got on Instagram. And so I was like right away messaging her like, yes, pick me. So I'm really excited about that. I think the sweater's just stunning. So I don't know if she has any pictures anywhere of it right now for me to be able to include, but what I'll do is I will link whatever information there is down in the description as soon as it's available, whether that be the Ravelry page, or I may even just include her video down there so that way you can go over and check it out. If you haven't watched any of her videos, I highly, highly recommend her. She's so sweet, and I just love her style, and watching her and her partner just bought their first home. Well, I think it's been about a year now, or quite a few months. So they're slowly going through and working on projects. So I even enjoy on Instagram, she'll give you updates of the garden or whatever she's working on. So even that's really fun to be able to watch right now. So as far as my plans, I'm hoping to finish that Lulu Slipover pretty darn quick. Like I said, get those button placards done, get the collar done, and I mean, that shouldn't take me much time at all. I would like to also work on that Zim Stern shawl some more. I'm sure that, you know, that's not going to get incredibly far, but that's going to be kind of the second project that I'm going to be working on, since it is fairly easy and nothing too intense as far as pattern goes. At least right now it's not, so it's a good candidate for knitting and watching TV. And then as soon as I get that mohair in, I'm going to be starting that test knit. So that's exciting. As far as anything else, I always like to mention anything else that I'm working on right now. I have not done anything else as far as cleanup out in the garden. When you're watching this, I will be at a farmer's market, and that is going to be primarily all of my sourdough. I am working on that right now. That's what I've been working on today. I'm going to be working on that tomorrow. And then Saturday is when we have the market. So I am in the progress of making sandwich loaves, classic loaves. I am making garlic and rosemary loaves, cinnamon, raisin. I'm also making some bagels, focaccia, cookies, just a ton of stuff right now. So I'm really trying to get that stocked up. Also on Sunday, we've got Super Bowl Sunday coming up. So there's gonna be a lot going on, a lot of TV time. And hopefully, even when I'm at the market, I'll be able to take my knitting with me. It's usually busy enough that I can't do a lot, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to take some time to devote to some knitting while I'm there, if at all possible. Probably take that shawl because that's easy travel, and you know, it's just one skein of yarn right now, so that's pretty simple. And then yeah, other than that, everything here is just, you know, cruising right along. So I am really excited though about these projects. If you would like to hear more about any of them, please let me know down in the comments. And I'd love to hear about what you're working on. I always say I would love to hear if you're starting any patterns, or if you have certain designers that you really love. Let me know, because you know, the algorithms always push you towards certain people that you've already checked out once or twice. And so I love being able to hear about new designers or new patterns and kind of be able to check out more than what's right in front of me all the time. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and make sure that you hit the bell if you'd like me to notify you as soon as I post another video. Generally, I do post videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays. This last Wednesday didn't happen. We had a ton of wind and there was just no chance of me filming with all the noise that was going on. This coming Wednesday, I am hoping to get up some footage as far as kind of what I do as far as preparations for the market, what all I'm taking, maybe show you a little bit of the farmer's market. And then this is an indoor one that we do once a month over the winter time. It's not incredibly busy, but not like it is in the summertime, but it is a really good turnout most months. So it's been really enjoyable to do those. I'm really excited to share all of that with you as well. And hopefully I will see you in my next one, but I hope you have a great one. Bye.